Hi there, I'm JT and this is my corner. And I want to circle back to Nancy Guthrie. So I'm sorry I look like something the cat drug in, but I've been cooking all day and I'm tired and I'm out here thinking and I want to say this that I'm not suicidal. I don't want to off myself. I'm not going to commit suicide or anything like that. But there's been something, and I don't know if you know the saying, but it's been gnawing at my craw. If you don't know what that means, it means that something has been bugging me to the point where I wake up in the middle of the night thinking about it. I have this little thing, it's called a muse. I usually talk to it when I want to think. It's actually a rock. It's called a muse. If you don't know what that is, you might want to look it up too. But anyway, so and this little muse actually has been sitting in the same place for 3 years, and it fell off of the place where it was sitting for the past 2 nights. I don't know what's going on, but that's it. So I want to circle back to Nancy Guthrie for a minute. And what's been bugging me is, you know how when something you can't put your finger on it, but you know it's there? Okay, so I ran across this site on TikTok. This young girl, her name is Mandy. And she kind of sounds crazy, like, like I do sometimes, but she is bringing the receipts. And she's talking about elderly abuse. And this is what triggered me because, on Nancy's door, there was a card left for protective services for elderly abuse. And all right, so I don't have the names. I'm going to put the link in my bio or on the inside of this video. But I want you to check her out. There's part 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and each one of them gets worse and worse. So what it is a fake company like a satellite or a ring cam or camera company that targets elderly people. And before they go and target these people, they'll actually check to see how much equity they have in their home. And I mean, it's very easy to do. You can actually go on several sites, and check it out. But this particular company, and it has several branches from what I can tell, it's changed its name several times because the feds were onto them. But so they'll come to someone's house, an elderly person, and they'll say, you know what, there's been crime in your neighborhood and you need some security. Let us put that in for you. And it's going to cost X amount of money. And, a lot of times, the elderly people, there's, gullible like me, and they'll say, oh, okay, I really fear for my life or whatever, let's go ahead and do it. And once they do it, they start asking for more money and threatening them and threatening their families. How do you feel about that? It's really been bugging me. So Nancy apparently has $750,000 equity in her house because it's paid off. And they usually target also not just the elderly, but also the power of attorneys. So what if, and I'm just saying this, and it's making me sick to my stomach, actually, and there's people smarter than me that can actually check into this, but what if they went to Tomato and Annie and said, look, you owe us $500,000 or $700,000. We know you have the equity in the home, And if you don't come up with the money, we are going to hurt your mom, or we are going to take her, or we're going to kidnap her and hold her for ransom. And so, God, it really makes me sick to my stomach, even talking about this. But what if it's something like that? What if it's a group of, people that are targeting elderly people, going to their power of attorneys and targeting their families? And that could be why Nano said, oh, it may happen again. How could he say it may happen again if he doesn't know what the hell happened? Stupid ass. Anyway, so what if they all know that this is what's happening? Not only that, but all right, I really don't want to die, but so apparently, according to this girl, Nanos, has several properties that he has, rental properties, and I don't know if I can continue. All right, so this girl feels like he is involved, and this is why he hasn't pursued anything. This is why he's been messing everything up, because not that he's part of the ring, or he could be, but he knows about it. And they've been making so much money. I mean, think about the house that was rented directly across from Nancy up on the hill. It was rented for 3 months. It had a bunch of white trucks that went around the neighborhood and installed cameras and different things, and poof, now that Nancy's gone, they're gone. And so what if they are the ones that went in and they were going to maybe take Nancy, and as dumb as they are, something happened, or maybe it didn't happen there, but it happened later, and the reason that they're not asking for ransom, because they already have money coming in from all these other people that they've, blackmailed. Anyway, this is all too very confusing. I mean, not confusing if you understand what's going on, but it's confusing to explain. So please check out Mandy on TikTok if you can. Start with maybe the first video after Nancy disappeared, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And she's a little off the wall. And so please look past that, because, crazy people and drunk people usually tell the truth. I mean, if you've ever known anybody that hasn't been intoxicated, and they'll come up to you and say, I've always hated you. You gotta believe them, because they're drunk people always say what's on their mind. And Mandy seems a little off the charts, and I'm sorry, Mandy. If I've insulted you, I don't mean to, but you sound a little off the charts, and I'm sure you've been told that before. But if anybody has the time to actually listen, just go on, sit on the toilet and listen to part 1, go lay in your bed and listen to part 2. And I think that maybe, just maybe, hopefully our FBI is smart enough to be on this case, because Nanos isn't going to do it. But just maybe there's going to be a solution. And we may not find Nancy. I think she has passed. And dear God, please watch over her. But this ring of people are causing havoc not only in Tucson and Phoenix, but they could be in my neighborhood. I mean, for all I know, but I'm lock and loaded, and I have my cross and my garlic. But check it out. It's Mandy on TikTok. It's Mandy for Nancy Guthrie on TikTok. And if you listen to 1 or 2 of her videos, come back and let me know what you think. All right? Great. Have a great day.